Okay, catch this. Now, let me cook. Those are the common side thoughts that people had. What if you're determined to do nothing? What if you're determined to be lazy? Then that's different from just pure laziness, because determination requires you to have a goal or have something that you're striving towards. And if you're determined to do nothing, then you'll do whatever it takes to do nothing, which is nothing. So that's like a fucking dog chasing its tail. Like, that's like not a common example. Now follow this. And laziness comes from follow what I'm trying to cook here. So if laziness, when you're lazy, you do nothing, and when you're determined, you do everything. And I'm like squaring them up as opposites. This is why I'm cooking this, right? Laziness comes from the fear of the unknown. It provides a substitute for security, because at least you won't have to deal with what's hard. So like if you're lazy, you're procrastinating, you're not typing that assignment out, you're not, finishing the whole shit. Chat, keep complaining about the Wi-Fi, and I know it's fast. You're the one standing next to McDonald's or knocking on your neighbor's door asking them, can they give you their password? That's not me. That's not me. I don't have to do that. My shit cool, bro. I'm good. Listen. When you using laziness, people think laziness is just about, oh, I'm leaning back. Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not motivated. No. Half the time it's that you don't trust yourself to work towards something hard. So at the end of the day, you say, I might as well not even try, or at least being lazy, you know where you'll go, which is nowhere. Nothing will happen when you do nothing, except you'll lose money, you'll get weaker physically, and you'll just keep doing a bunch of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when you're determined, you do the opposite. You do whatever it takes to go towards the goal that you want. And the reason I'm making this connection between fear of the unknown and laziness is because when you're lazy, you're like paused. So when you procrastinate, you're like pause your work. You delay it. You ignore it. You like start to believe an illusion that, oh, I can do it later. I can do it at the last second. Whatever the can happen. You just start being delusional. You start ignoring thinking about the work. You just think about how you feel, and you feel good because you're laying down, you're relaxing, you're doing all that type of shit. That's how laziness feels. It feels good, but when you think about it, it's not really getting you anywhere. Determination sends you head first into whatever comes with your consistency. You accept it. So whereas like your laziness, you try to pause and stay away from what your next step is. Okay, I'm gonna start this assignment. I'm gonna type it out, and then I gotta do research, and then I gotta do all this. It's not even like a big fear of the unknown. I think when I talk about the fear of the unknown, people look at, oh, I just lazy. I just didn't do that work. I didn't go apply for that job. It's the fact that you know that something's going to come next. It's the fact that you know that you either never tried this before. You think you don't feel like doing it. But in reality, you're avoiding something about doing it. And that's how hard you may think it is. That's how good it feels not to do it, etc. But again, keep in mind, I'm contrasting that with determination, because determination wouldn't give a I'm going to do whatever it takes. Laziness is I'm going to do nothing. Next, chat, are we following so far? Because you use discipline to counter laziness. No, because you could have a lazy ass disciplined schedule. You wake up and you drag it. Like laziness is not always doing nothing. Laziness can be like dragging your feet. Laziness can be wasting time. It could be moving slow. It could be laziness is like is a way of moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though determination is just go, go, go. Like you smashing your head at the wall. You grinding. You locked in. You focus. Keep in mind, I said earlier, when you're being lazy, you're like you're following an illusion. You're pretending that if you do nothing or don't work, that nothing's going to happen. And you don't even think about it. You're only thinking about feeling good, relaxing, watching the TV show you're probably watching, doing whatever you're doing to ignore or avoid your work, right? But when you're determined, all you can focus on is your work. So even determination and laziness have opposing focuses. Chad, is this making sense so far? All right. Then the next one. Remember, I said it's a substitute for security, because at least you won't have to deal with what's hard. You won't have to challenge yourself to see how many assignments you can do in one night. All these classes, all this shit that's coming at you. If you're lazy, you just avoid it. You won't have to face the fire. Now, this security is called for in the first place from an insecurity in self. You don't trust who you are, what you can do, and what will happen. And this what will happen part is basically like after you do a bunch of things, these are like a cause and effect. All the events lead to a next event. And you turn in that assignment, then you get the grade for it. Then you work into studying for a test. Then you got to take the test, and then now you have a grade for the class. So this is what will happen from doing what you're doing by being determined, or being focused, or being consistent, or being disciplined, whatever counteracts laziness. And a lot of times when people are lazy, they can avoid results. They can not worry about it. Again, laziness, it really gives us like an ignorance is bliss kind of feeling. It's like, oh, I'm just not going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't care. And if you don't have to care, you don't have to take responsibility. And if you don't have to take responsibility, it provides a little bit of security because you're relaxed. You're just like delusional. Meanwhile, again, determination. I'm determined. I have a security in myself. I don't give a what it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I'm going to do it every day. I'm going to do it all day. I'm going to stay at that shit. I trust me. I don't give a if I fail or win today. I'm going to keep working at it because I'm determined. Determination has like this tunnel vision as focus. So security and determination go hand in hand. No. Security is above determination. Right? Determination is just how you feel about your goal. Laziness is how you feel about your goal. I don't feel like doing it. Determination is I'll do whatever it takes to get it done. So I feel like I can't quit. I can't stop. This is how you feel about your goal. And the security part, I brought in the idea of security and insecurity because, right, security like trust, the trust you have for yourself. So when people say you're insecure, it means you don't trust something. I'm insecure about my face. I don't trust that my face is handsome. I'm insecure about my clothes. I don't think my clothes are fashionable. I'm insecure about my girlfriend. I don't think that I can trust her. Right? But security is the opposite. Trust. When you know you can depend on something. So and when you're determined, you're depending on your work, yourself. You're depending on your consistency. When you're laziness, you're depending on your feelings. I feel good. I'm just watching this TV. Whatever the distraction, however you distract yourself when you're being lazy. It's just like what really came to mind when I was thinking about this is how people, when they're avoiding something, right? They may always go start scrolling on TikTok. Think about it. If a guy was scared, my guy Shayon did a YouTube IRL video, and it was like it wasn't a public interview, but he was asking guys like, "Oh, you think you got Riz or something like that?" Not even on some like disrespectful shit, but you think you got Riz? And one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I got Riz, man. I bag everything." And then that's when two girls was coming, and my man Shayon was like, "All right, let's go at this 2-man right now." And then the guy started folding, and then he started folding, and the nigga went to the weather app. That was a distraction. Now, not just laziness, but I'm correlating the idea of a distraction with his insecurity. He didn't trust his ability to go talk to those women, so he distracted himself. He avoided it. So he didn't have to face the fire. But if he was determined to get the woman, he would have walked over there with no care about how good he was at it. He's determined. He don't care how you feel. And that's why, going back to that, with laziness, if you have that level where you, shout out to the person that drew this art too, this is fire. When you're at that level, when you're determined, you're not even thinking about how you feel. And laziness is wrapped up in a bunch of feelings. Is this all making sense, chat? And then the person said, like I said, one of the first comments was like, what if you're determined to do nothing? Or what if you're determined to be lazy? Right? 4K qualified, appreciate the 11 months. Now,
you're cooking.
When they asked that, right, he said it would be better if you included practical steps to use. And I'm glad this person said this because I'm not really a practical man. Like I'm very abstract. I'm very up here with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe some people will follow steps better than they will be thinking about the why or the guts to what I'm talking about, right? Excuse me. They loud as shit in the hallway. Close that door. All right. So when I thought about it, chat, I would say these are 4 practical steps to being more determined, and it's like leading to killing laziness or killing procrastination. And number one, I said acknowledge your laziness is a problem. And the reason I said you have to acknowledge that shit is a problem, because why would you fix something that you don't think is broken? And a lot of times when we being lazy or we procrastinating, we don't think it's a big deal. You know, when you procrastinate, what's the first thing you tell yourself when you procrastinate? We all said shit like, it don't matter, I'm gonna do it later, it's not that big of a deal. So why would you fix something if you don't think it's a problem? So the part about acknowledging that it is a problem is being truthful and honest with yourself. Like, actually it does make a difference because I'm wasting my time. Now, don't think that deep yet. Just acknowledge it's a problem. Like, it's a problem that I'm bullshitting. It's a problem that I'm procrastinating. Here goes the next step that makes you go deeper into that. And I said, recognize where your laziness will get you. Plan out the worst that will happen. And listen, when I thought about this, I thought about, I didn't want to just get people motivated from negativity. Like, I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be broke. Because that's not what this was about. What it was about is for you to think ahead. It was about for you to see where that laziness leads to. So it's like, all right, if you constantly always doing something at the last minute, you constantly always wasting time. Well, where do people go when they get lazy? They be on a downward spiral, and a downward trajectory. Or at the very least, you should be able to look at what's the worst that would happen if you continue to be lazy and say, I will never live up to my potential. Why? Because I'm wasting time. Now, again, this was plan out what would happen. So plan out, I meant be specific. I may fail this class. And if I fail this class, I may get kicked out and lose my scholarship. And if I don't go to school, then this will happen and this will happen. Like, what's the worst that could happen from being lazy? Right? And letting those negative habits build up. Fierce Pierce, I appreciate the 5 months, brother. Now, decide what you want. Right? Now, just recognize where the laziness will get you. But number 3, decide what you want. And deciding what you want to me meant plan out your desired future. I want to graduate with this GPA. I want to drive 2 cars. I want to get my first. I want to have a wife with 3 kids, and we want to have 3 properties. I want to be worth it. Like, plan out your desired future and be specific about these goals. And don't just write them down. Like, be what they look like. How would they be? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want a crib, and it'll be, at least be 4 rooms, and when I get 2 cars, and, we gonna live in a nice, safer neighborhood, and that desired future, right? And then the big difference between that desired future and recognizing where your laziness will get you is they should be complete opposites. This will be if everything goes right, and then the laziness will be if everything goes wrong. And the reason you have to separate this shit mentally is because when you tell yourself some bullshit like, oh, it won't make a difference, I'm gonna do it later, or if I sleep in for another 2 hours, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't disturb you enough. It doesn't bother you enough to sit there. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, number 1, why would you fix a problem you don't even think is a problem? Why would you fix something that's not broken? So now that you done planned it out, when next time you sleeping in and you like, I could get another hour and all that, you like, fuck no. I do that 10 days in a row, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. I just missed out on how many, 3 weeks, 21 days. I just missed out on 21 hours. I'm 21 hours shorter away from my goal than I could have been because I kept sleeping in an extra hour every day. Hold on, but I went from sleeping in an extra hour to waking up 2 hours earlier. So 21 days times 2 hours. Now I have 42 extra hours to work towards whatever goal that I have than I did when I was lazy. Y'all see how y'all can compare the two now? Like, because when you're sleeping, you might be like, what difference does it make? Or if I finish that assignment and I don't waste that time, what difference does it make? You start doing the math on that shit. You start doing the math. The time I wasted not doing this assignment, I could have already been working on the next one. I could have been ahead on the work. I could have been trying a side hustle or something. I could have been doing all this other shit, but instead I was on Instagram. I was on TikTok. Damn, I went out here and went to that I didn't even have to go to. Wasted time. Then you start doing the math on that shit add up for real. Like I said, I wanted to just I put that on there, and I'm like, yeah, that'll definitely be a chapter or aspect in the book, especially going deeper into that insecurity and self. Me and Steve had a crazy conversation today about that. All right, chat. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Exactly. But the idea of what something should be is a powerful idea when you think about it. Because when you say something should be something, right, or this is how it should be, that means you're envisioning how you want it to go. Could is fantasy land, but should means that you know what you want it to look like. So when you start living like, all right, this is how it should be, this is how you could stand up to that. You could live up to what you think it should be, or get as close to that as you possibly can. How many pages you gonna have? I don't know. You explaining that helped a lot. No, for real, I think the practical part helped people understand what I meant by that, like being determined. But if you need that fire under your feet of what can happen if you just keep being lazy, you keep procrastinating, you keep bullshitting, you keep chasing bitches and wasting your time, then plan that shit out. See what's gonna happen. Like I told y'all, when the dude asked me how do you start moving when you start touching real money, and I'm like, first of all, let's talk about fumbling the bag. And the reason people fumble the bag, the reason people keep the same bag for their entire lives. And I said, if you're looking for examples of that, look at your parents, look at your family, look at your friends, look at everybody that's older than you and that's been around you. And why has their life been the same since you was 6 years old? And maybe you got some hustling ass parents, or maybe your parents been on shit and they've been changing jobs, they've been getting new careers. So you got great examples, but not all of us like that, man. What's the difference between these thoughts and living in fear? Living in fear means that the fear controls you and changes what you would do. We all to a certain extent can choose or choose not to respect fear or give it power. Again, remember determination. Or if laziness is all about how you feel, it feels relaxing to be lazy. It feels good to just sit back and just do nothing and just Determination takes the feeling out of what the fuck it's focused on. It doesn't care. Determination means I'm determined. I'll get it and do it by any means fucking necessary. I don't give a fuck if I wake up tired. I don't give a fuck if I feel like quitting. I'm determined, so it don't matter how I feel. So you say something like living in fear. A determined person, fear is not even at the conversation. What's the point of being afraid if I'm going to do it anyway? What the fuck is the point of being afraid if I'm a try 10 times harder again? Fear don't serve me any purpose. But if your goal is to be safe and feel good or get the approval of others, then fear is your best friend. Fear can help you out greatly. Fear is good for you. Because fear always telling you when you're doing something wrong. Fear always telling you when you're doing something right. And then you get controlled by it. You run from it. It's like a constant boogeyman, man. How do you find what you are determined for? Well, for the practical steps, I just put simply a desired future. I think we all can. I mean, anybody could have died yesterday. Anybody that's here, you could have died yesterday. So we don't know when we're going to die. Who knows, right? My point I'm about to make is we all have a future if we're still alive right now. Even if our future is 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes. Like, we all have a future. So I don't think any human being doesn't have a desired future. Like, how do I want my life to look? We all have that. And if you can't be determined for the life that you want, I don't know what you can be determined for. And this is why it's important for the self relationship, because you're going to have to disagree with people. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to, sacrifice. You're going to have to be able to self-sustain. You're going to have to be able to be your own sustainability when it comes to confidence. Because guess what? J. Cole did an interview, my homie sent me, right? J. Cole did an interview, and he talked about when he was rapping, or when he first started rapping, he didn't tell his family he started rapping. He didn't tell them he wanted to go to New York for school so that he could rap. He didn't tell them nothing. What does this tell you, chat? Think about, what does this tell you? The fact that he didn't tell them shit. He was sustaining his own confidence, his own goal, his own dream. He didn't need nobody to support him. He didn't even need anybody to know. They doubted him. He didn't even let them doubt him because they didn't know what was happening. He didn't even care to get their opinion. That's how determined he was. He was so focused on his goal. He didn't even tell them because he didn't even want to hear what they had to say because it wouldn't have made a difference. I'm still going to try to be the rapper. He had complete confidence. Why? Because he got it from himself. He asked himself, do he want to rap? And he said yes. And he said, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to go to school up New York. I'm not even going to tell my family. I'm not even going to tell my family I want to do this shit. As long as I know I got it. But it could be from fear of their opinion. Guess what? Guess why it could be not that? Guess why you know it's not that? Because he didn't ask for their opinion. It didn't stop him. So if he on one end was afraid of their opinion, he already let in fear into his actions. He would have hesitated. He would have not took the commitment to go out there and work toward that goal. See, motherfuckers that have fear from their opinion, that have fear of people's opinions, they hide what they do. He wasn't hiding what he was doing. He was still doing it. He just did it on his own time. Privacy and being sneaky is two different things. So I'm trying to be sneaky. I'm like hiding what I'm doing. No, I'm just keeping it to myself. I'm keeping it private. I'm keeping it to myself. Your opinion, if I already know you're not going to support me or you're going to say I'm crazy, it's no point in me asking you. And on the opposite end, he don't need their approval. He's not looking for their approval. All he's looking for is to achieve his goal. How they feel, what they think. I'm focused on my goal. What I need your opinion for? Y'all going to tell me some weak shit. You didn't chase your goals your whole life, so why the fuck I'm going to ask you about my goals? You going to tell me some weak shit. You going to tell me not to chase my dreams. You going to tell me it's not worth it. Go get a job. Why? Because that's what you did with your life. Respectfully, you don't have anything to help me with in that area of my life. And if I already know that, and I don't ask you your opinion on my dream, that don't mean I'm afraid of your opinion. That mean I am. Your opinion is toxic. Get that shit away from me. I don't even want to hear what you had to say about my dream. Get that away from me. I repel that shit. Get it out of my face. I don't even want to hear that shit. It's weak. You don't even believe in yourself. Why would I want to talk to you? What can you say? It's all going to come from some weak, safe, scared place. I'm living determined for my goals. I'm not even trying to think about, is it possible? Is it not possible? You don't think like that when you're determined. It was good, Todd. Just got a live night. Welcome to the live, brother. Shout out to everybody that's been following too. Shout out to all the subs, man. I appreciate y'all. I know we cooking today, but like I said, I'm determined, man. Like, been on my mind, a lot of thought experiments, a lot of shit like that. And I'm trying to help y'all understand why not giving a fuck is so important and being disciplined and being a person in your family, in the world that gets done. Because if you were to give you would be like a dog with 30 leashes, and every owner, everybody got a hand on each leash. You got 30 leashes on as a dog. They pulling you a million different ways. You don't get real freedom until you start being self-sustaining. Your confidence is self-sustaining. Your inspiration is self-sustaining. Your motivation is self-sustaining. I don't have to watch a video to feel motivated. I'm self-sustaining. I don't have to ask my mom or approach a bad bitch and get her number to be confident. I'm self-sustaining. I don't need you to feel determined or more. I'm self-sustaining. That's the shit that gets you up when it's 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the shit that pick you up when you fail. That's self-sustaining shit. Think about it. As a living being, think about the simplest living thing we think of, like a plant, like a flower. You rip the flower out of the ground and throw it on concrete. That's going to die because it's not being sustained by water, fertilizer like the soil, or the sunlight. It's not rooted. It's not rooted. Once it gets uprooted, it'll die. What are you rooted in? Are you rooted in yourself? Are you rooted in cars, clothes, jewelry, hoes? likes, attention, or are you rooted in yourself? Whatever you're rooted in will keep you alive. And if you don't change your soil, if you don't change that to something that's self-sustaining, you gonna always need that shit. It ain't even mommy permission. It's validation seeking. It's like you gotta be able to self-validate. You gotta be able to self-sustain. All that, bro. Think about that shit, chat. How do you? No way I get this kind of question. Like after saying everything I just said, Justin is cool 25 asked me, how do you know if someone likes you, even though they compliment you, but they make excuses for not linking up? And this is a great example. Always the Justins. This is a great example of you have no type of intuition. You have no connection to your intuition. You have no connection to common sense. You have no connection to being able to think. If a person is making excuses to link you, what the f does that tell you? They don't want to link you. Now, what's more important? If they don't link you or if they like you? You got bigger fish to fry, my boy. And now, low self-esteem decision would be chase them until they like you, or be whatever they need you to be for them to like you, which is what a lot of y'all do. She want me to have money, so I'm gonna get some money. She want me to have muscles, so I'm gonna get some muscles. She want me to be taller. Damn it, I'm not tall. Y'all will be whatever the bitch wants y'all to be except yourself. And then say F you if you don't like me. And if the person don't, guess what? That's cool. You don't need it. You good with it, good without it. If she don't like you for how you are, she gotta go. That's the thing, because otherwise you're betraying yourself. And if you ain't got yourself, dog, if you ain't got your greatest gift from the universe, if you ain't got what's gonna be in there when you go in that casket, if you ain't supporting that motherfucker, oh my God, I feel bad, gang. I got me against whatever, bro. Whoever, whatever, whenever, however. I got me. I just one thing, I'm gonna get the motherfucker. I'm gonna get the motherfucker I'm looking at right now. Why? Cause he the only one that know me. I could explain 10 million things to y'all, and I wouldn't even have to say a word for myself to understand. Cause I know me. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful, chat. You gotta respect that. You gotta appreciate that, man. How do you appreciate it? By tossing and turning and flipping through 90 different hoops for somebody else to like you. Fuck them. Who are they? Who are they? TyKwonDoe said you gotta be delusional with it. I think that delusional, for him personally, I think that delusionalness helped him block out negative, that maybe his people around him he knew they might have said. So like if I'm being delusional saying I can do it, that'll help me ignore hate. That'll help me ignore criticism. But the bigger step on top of being delusional is constructively looking at the goal, right? And breaking down the goal, understanding what it takes, and then putting in the work. There's nothing delusional about understanding what something takes and then putting in the work. This has nothing to do with how long it will take. It just has to do with understanding the work. That's better. That's better than being, delusional. Delusional amount of confidence. Do you need confidence when you are determined? And confidence is such a willy-nilly word. Like, damn, that dude's confident, man. And people only see confidence after a person does something. Why somebody coming in and spamming that? Hey, my mom just headshot sniped that motherfucker. God damn. Should you as a man bring up a relationship or let it be the woman to make that first step? Ironically, it's like innately. It's like naturally. It's like born in us. It's like women know it's the man's decision to be in a relationship. It's like natural feminine energy, like just knows that it's the man's decision to be in a relationship. It's up to you to determine if she's worthy of that relationship, if she earned it, if you trust her, if she meets your standards and requirements. And same for her. Are you the man that meets her standards and requirements? Would she trust you in a relationship, etc.? Right? Equally so, I'm just saying, I think naturally, a lot of times when a woman starts to like you, the first thing she wants to do is say, are you talking to other women? Are other women in the picture? Or how can I be the only one? That's such a natural thing for a woman. Like, she really likes this guy. She wants him to cut everybody off, and she wants her to be his only woman. Nine times out of 10, that women bring that stuff up first. Women talk about it. I mean, I don't know if y'all check, if y'all experienced this, but I've seen this a lot. Me personally, I just don't care what people's opinion of me. I don't listen to your experience. Come on now. So is polygamy unnatural? Polygamy and monogamy, for the most part, is learned. It's learned, and I know when you say unnatural, you talking about biologically. I mean, if we literally talk biologically, as a man, I can get 10 women pregnant at once. And naturally, depending on what kind of guy I am, I have access to more women than you could ever see in your life. So it kind of looks like, even if polygamy is not natural, that the man is meant to spread his seed. And listen, this was I learned this and had this kind of conversation from a zoology course. Zoology is in studying the species of this planet. And when a professor, one of the first things he said, I told you about this before. He had a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger on the board, right? The big power lifter, bodybuilder, all that kind of guy, right? And he said, who's more fit, me or Arnold, right? And everybody like, oh, Arnold's stronger than you, so he's more fit. But fit biologically meant like who reproduced the most. And he had more kids than Arnold. So he said, I'm biologically more fit than him. I've spreaded my seed out more. Like as a man, I've spreaded my seed out more. This is a different conversation though. This is a different conversation. But most of the times when people don't like polygamy, it's because of what they learn to think about polygamy. If they think monogamy is a bad thing or a good thing, it depends on the culture. In America, especially like if you're coming from like a Christian household, you think monogamy is like the right way to live. Whereas though in some countries, it's normal to have multiple wives. It's normal to be in a polygamous relationship. It's not looked at like a weird thing. And a lot of times, sometimes like, I don't know, these polygamous couples be kind of weird. Like they just be weird. So I don't even blame people who have a negative thought process on it. But would women be more open to polygamy if they felt like the man was worth it? 9 times out of 10, if she's with a certain kind of guy, she knows that. Now this has nothing to do with him. This really has to do with her overall sense of security. Like if she trusts that she's the only girl he messes with, deep down inside she may know she's not the only woman he can mess with. And it's more of a, well, up until like social media recently and like the that people worry about, it's more of a feminine worry to like, I'm the only girl I want you talking to, than it is for a guy to be like, I want to be the only guy you're talking to. And I just talk about how, monogamy is earned, but women just like can like know I'm telling you, bro. If you ever left the crib and your girl ain't say, who you trying to be seen by? Like I'm joking, but like your girl know you could get bitches, or your girl know that bitches wouldn't like you. Like she might like you, but she know if you could be Mr. Bitches or not. Now, do that mean that you can or cannot? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but she thinks like a woman, so she know what a lot of women would be attracted to, what a lot of women would appreciate. And if she likes you and is with you anyway, then she's clearly choosing to do that. So don't feel any less about it. Bro just wanted to say he slays in the class course. You funny as shit. I've got mines regardless, even when many men waiting on me. Can you still be a father who is respected by your children if you got several BMs? I don't think. Would you respect your father any less for having children? I don't really think that made sense. Unless you talking about like he nutting in 30 different and some shit like that. Now it's like, all right, Pop, like, come on, man. Maybe you would respect him less. I don't know. That's up to you. What's some tips on finding and centering on your purpose? I don't know. That question really doesn't make sense to me. I don't really think like that, even as a person of purpose. Because I don't need tips to find and center my purpose. It's that my purpose is my direction. So it's already centered to begin with once you have a purpose. And when you say like your purpose just prevails everything except God. Even you, your purpose even precedes you and supersedes and goes above you. Which is why most people who are purposeful sacrifice sleep, sacrifice how they feel, sacrifice how other people feel and think, because they put themselves second to their purpose. So whatever my purpose need, I'm gonna give it to it. And if it need me to stay up to 2 a.m. tonight, I'm gonna stay up. And if it need me to wake up early the next morning, I'm gonna wake up. Because I'm determined to see my purpose through. You pray regularly every night. Any man can have multiple children, but what's more important is if you can protect and take care of them with support and respect your community. Exactly, bro. And I hate to see how things have strayed away, man, because what being a man is about has become so political. But not even just the political side of the narrative. It's that many men and women are insecure with each other. They don't trust each other. Now, I saw a tweet today, and it said, I don't trust anyone. I don't put anything past anybody, right? And I saw it got a lot of likes, and a lot of people agreed with it. But I said, is this some sort of insecurity, or is this a good way to think? To not be naive and not be caught off guard or caught lacking? I lean towards it's an insecurity. Why? Because once you trust somebody, the trust is 100%, or you don't trust them at all. There's no, what is kind of trust? Dion Sanaya, I appreciate the 3 months. And the reason I say this, chat, the reason I say this is because when I talk to married couples who have been married 15 plus years, 20 plus years, they always tend to have the same viewpoint on trust, which is what I said. Like, you trust a person or you don't. And it's not a matter of they could switch up on me any day, no matter what. Shit, your hoe can go. People who have been married for 20 years don't think like that. They trust their partners without a shadow of a doubt. Otherwise, there's some sort of toxicity or arguments going on in their relationship. But trust is trust. Look at how we even made trust. We made it normal to have a back door with trust. It's like we used to do this when I was growing up as a kid. That was the simplest example of trust. Y'all remember a trust fall? Y'all remember that dumbass, simple ass shit? Like, oh, do a trust fall. You just close your eyes and you fall back. You do not know if the person is going to catch you or not. Well, that's the risk associated with trusting a person. But if you trust them, then you'll fall because you know they'll catch you. Now, you don't know, but you trust them, so you know because you trust them. And if they don't catch you, then you know you can't trust them. It's not that the person catches you 5 times in a row and then on the 6th time they just drop you. Like, That's not how trust works. It's not how it works. I'm TTG for me, myself, and I'm gonna get. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna get mine. Go ahead, brother. Talk that shit, man. Do you believe in second chances? Depends on the violation. You asking the wrong nigga, man. You asking the wrong nigga. Cause I wouldn't believe in like an immediate second chance. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think people change that fast. I need to see something gotta show me, okay, this person, like, I gotta think it on my own. You can't, like, you know what I'm saying? To be asked for, like, that's like emotional guilt. I have to be shown. Because it was probably something you showed me that made me not trust you to begin with. So the idea of a second chance is just like, you gotta show me you need one. Or not that you need one, but that you deserve one. First thing you did when you became financially free. I wouldn't say I'm 100% financially free. Like, I got money, but yo, Young Black Sinatra, I appreciate the 3 months, brother.
Welcome to the dojo. Cold face.
I still have a lot of financial goals.
Cold face.
I wouldn't say I'm financially free. I would say I'm good enough to be comfortable, but I don't want to be comfortable. How do you implement new hobbies slowly so you stay consistent? You know, first the thing I would say is I would start writing it down in my daily to-do list, right? And I would start thinking about when can I do it to where it can become consistent. Like if I wanted to go to the gym, I remember I was working like, I had a job, I was working full-time the summer before I went to college. I'm talking about I was getting like 40 plus hours a week in this job. And some of the shifts would be like a 1 to 10, 10 to 7. I would go to the gym at 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning if I needed to, just to make sure I go into the gym. And the thing is, you can't hesitate to start working on your habit. Like you can't say I'm gonna do that shit tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Like you gotta find a way to start that shit today. Like even streaming, chat. I knew I wasn't gonna be live for like until like 3 in the morning tonight. I'm probably gonna end the stream 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, right? But I didn't let how busy my day was, the fact that I had to start my stream later than I wanted to, I didn't let that impact my consistency. You find a way when there's a will. If there's a will, there's a way. Would you consider yourself spiritual or religious? Spiritual. I'm not religious in any sense. Also, Jordan said to slowly start adding habits, reward yourself for them rewards based on the scale of your habit. First of all, let me give you some deep knowledge. Getting better towards your goal is a reward in and of itself. If you have to reward yourself for staying consistent towards what you want, obviously appreciate it, you know, be thankful, shit like that, bro. But that just seems weak to me. Like, cause what happens when you can't reward yourself? You just gonna stop? It's because it don't feel good. You couldn't get your little treat. Ways to replace or break habits, you just gotta break that shit, bro. As soon as you feel that shit about to start, as soon as you feel that next time that you about to break into that habit again, you just gotta immediately in that moment use it as an opportunity to switch it. Immediately. Can you explain your spiritual beliefs? I'll probably talk about it in detail in my book. I've talked about it a lot on stream before, but I just don't feel like that's the topic of the night. You smoke weed, if why not? Why not? I have not smoked weed probably since it's been months. It's been months. And my last time was my last time. Same thing. Like me personally, even when I do smoke, it's always on some like, man, like, cause I don't care. I don't judge smoking. Like I don't give a like I grew up looking up to Bob Marley and like it just was like I don't look at smoking like, oh, you're just terrible, or like people like Nipsey Hussle. Like I don't have no negative crazy thing about smoking. But for me personally, I just had to accept like I don't care. Like I don't care about smoking. I never rolled anything myself. I never smoked on my own. I never gave a Like it don't even do nothing for me personally. Like I don't ever like. I'm like, man, I had a bad day, man. It's like I don't think like that personally. So it just really serves me no purpose. So it's like soda, bro. I try to stay away from soda. I try to stay away from stuff like that. If I drink juice, I'm probably going out to eat. You know what I'm saying? I give me a little apple juice, a little something like that. How many genders are there, or is that not a Twitch appropriate question? It's a question I don't give a fuck about. I really don't. If you can see, none of my content is based around there's 2 genders, there's 100. I don't care. Cause in real life, I've been friends with people who have been of anything they identify as. Of anything, it's who I am as a person. People make it such a thing to where it's like I have to be politically arguing for something. How about this person lives their life and I live my life? It really serves me no substance to give a like check. Like, does that make sense? Like some people would be like, "Oh, this person is scared to talk about it, bro." Like my uncle, I got an uncle that was gay. I done did mentorships with people who were, gay, lesbian, or different genders. Like I could kick it with anybody, bro. Black, white, Asian, old, young. I'm not a constricted thinker like people would have you turn to be. Like you got to be in a room, somebody gay or somebody transgender. Oh, I hate them. They're crazy. Like why? The internet trying to make y'all think like that. At the end of the day, that's a human being, bro. I don't have to. What they do with their life is what they do with their life. This is how I think. This is how I live. I accept people. I don't judge people. I don't give. Like I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and tell somebody live like this and live like that. That's not how I live. And it ain't some. Oh man, bro, just scared to stand on this. I'm like being so serious when I tell you like. I really don't care. I don't think I have to. I would if I have to make an opinion on the topic, I feel like you can be too young to commit to changing genders. That's what I would say. That's the only thing I would say. And I think that it became even like BLM, bro. I didn't like the BLM movement. I really didn't. I'm gonna be honest. Not because the founders are this and the founders are that, but because it like. What I want to say? It like commodified struggle. It made struggle like popular. It made being a victim like popular. Like, dog, Black history is about conquering against all odds. Black people don't complain and cry. Look at our leaders that they sniped and we still went on to achieve great things. It was never about feeling like, oh, the world hates me. And nah, stand the up because they're not going to care about you anyway. So we got to support each other in our differences and in our injustices. And yes, Black Lives Matter and all these movements and trends put a spotlight on people's struggles and people's experiences. But I think that there's an aspect of it which became like cringe. Like we all know, oh, you see somebody Instagram bio and they put BLM and then they put like their gender pronouns in there. It's like, bro, that does not tell me if you are a good person. And if I don't have it in my bio, that don't mean I'm not a good person. So people made it like a badge to wear. Like it's not about that, bro. What do you live by? What do you stand for? See, I'm a thinker, bro. I don't give a like, cause y'all gotta realize even this, chat. Let's say the dude who asked me earlier, how many genders is there? And then I go, there's only 2. Or I go, there's 15. You can look it up on this forum. Based on which side of that argument I identify with, right? He may try to judge or support or not support me. So now we're in a situation where it becomes advantageous to speak on certain things. I'm not even speaking genuinely. I'm speaking towards an advantage. So if I don't care, I just told you I don't care. You could think whatever you want about it. But there are certain issues I will speak on when I care. But the point I'm about to make is there are people who will disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. There's only 2 because they going hard and they're not even They're just trying to like get support. They're trying to like grind views. They're trying to be argumentative. There's no substance to what they're saying. They haven't even thought about what they're saying. They're just taking a side and just jumping on it. You gotta stand by your code. You have to own your code. Your street code. You got a code. Got a code. Everyone got a code. Exactly. Sneako. It's not a Sneako thing. Y'all try to make it specific. You can see it on anybody and everybody. And it's like you just see so many people who it's disingenuous. Do you think we are spiritual beings having a human experience, or a human having a spiritual experience? Doesn't matter, bro. Like people be thinking they about to say the deepest shit ever, bro. Like big topic. What are your? He said, "Oh, chat. Okay, look at this. This is why people opinions don't matter." He said, "Bro, you're dodging," and then he asked me, "Big topic. What are your thoughts on nofap and jerking off? And also, don't lie. When was the last time you busted?" Okay, I have to say this as humble as I can. I've been successful on the internet for about 2 years now. I don't give a when that number turns to 20. It will never, and I'm gonna say this 3 times in a row, it will never be a time in my life where a grown-ass man can ask me what I do with my dick. Nor will I tell another man what to do with his dick. Please stop that. This is weird. I don't, like, why did they make y'all think this was so cool? Like, no fap, semen retention, I don't know. I don't really live my life on the internet, bro. This is weird to me. What the was that question? He probably was dead serious, bro. I'm not laughing. Y'all all laughing. I'm so serious, bro. Like, he really just thought he was cooking with that. I'm dodging. Yes, I'm dodging that question. I don't want to tell you what the fuck I do with my dick, and I don't want to hear what you do with yours. Y'all weird, bro. Yo, y'all gotta start challenge, like, question, like, what do these people be telling y'all, bro? This is crazy. Only advice I give sexually is how to make a woman orgasm. You know what I'm saying? How to deal with her, how to handle her, etc. How to talk to her, communicate. Also, on the topic of sex and all that, you know, keep in mind, chat, y'all, a lot of y'all like, man, I just want to slay, I want to fuck her. Just keep in mind that there's a battle between time and women. Like, even as a man of purpose, I need a certain woman. I need to mess with a certain kind of woman. I can't just be fucking with bitches on the fly. Like, if she's not adding value to my life, if she's not contributing to my purpose in some way, she's not getting a seat at the table. Even if I'm just fucking. There's nothing is just to me. Nothing is I'm just going to fuck and I'm just. You don't think like that. Everything is with a purpose. Which is why you stop hanging with certain people. You stop talking to certain families members every day. Because it's no purpose. Yeah, you check in, yeah, you care, but everything you do is with a purpose. And if it veers off that path, the only way it gets back in your life is if it has a purpose to you. And just a simple nut is like, it just becomes, it's not exciting. Fun, don't get me wrong. Oh man, this bitch thick as hell, man. That shit would be fun, but it's not fulfilling. You believe in soul ties. Okay. Here's your version of soul ties. You think it's a soul tie when you're pretending to be somebody you're not, and you meet a woman who's pretending to be somebody she's not. You both are overcompensating with materialistic things, with masks and appearances y'all put on, facades to fool the world. You both meet each other full of masks and just a facade. Y'all each other and y'all think y'all souls are tied. Y'all don't have a soul. Y'all are bots. Programmed people. Programmed personalities. Programmed ways of living. How can you connect to somebody's soul and you're not even living through your soul? Jesus Christ. But in fact, the part of your soul that does connect is the part that you can't even see. It's the insecurities. It's the relief from distractions. It's the relief from stress. It's the part of you that's crying for help and that needs some sense of fulfillment through sex. It's the part of you that lacks.
Going after your time.
Appreciate Connect, y'all. Appreciate the 6 months. It's the part of your soul that is lacking. It's being overcompensated by materialistic, unfulfilling things. That's the soul connection y'all have. Superficial bullshit distractions. That's y'all connection right there. Okay, I put a period on that paragraph, chat. Chat, do I seem angry, bro? I'm just cooking tonight, bro. I'm just cooking. I'm cooking. I don't feel no waste. I'm not wasting time with nobody tonight, bro. I'm just speaking my mind, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's so many things which are popularized on the internet that are just to me, and it's so pointless. And y'all bring it to my table. I don't care. If I didn't care yesterday, I'm probably not gonna care now. Y'all don't see me never talk about no shit like that. Seem your attention or soul ties for a reason. Your problems will not be fixed just because you stop nutting. Only suggestion I have for that is if you have a sex addiction. If you have a sex addiction, then semen retention is like going cold turkey. But then you still have to look at the core issue. It does not solve the core issue. The core issue is, why do you have a abundance of time to waste? And how do you not hold yourself accountable? You see, because whether you're on semen retention or not, you always have to be holding yourself accountable. And the fact that you allow yourself to slip into an addiction means that you're a reckless. No matter what the addiction is, spending addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, it's being reckless. Fix the recklessness, you don't have to deal with the addiction. Okay. Nah, I'm actually in a great mood. I thought Ty was about to cry. Yo. I fuck with your ring. Where you getting from? I got them from a fashion sale in like LA. It was like one of them events where people bring all this like vintage that they got. And this that she had all this silver, so I got it from her. I don't know the store. I can't think of nothing like it wasn't online or nothing like that. What are the rules here? Just be honest, man. Just be honest. That's it. Just be honest, man. We never seen this man mad. Anger is such a useless emotion to me. Even like anger is just useless to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Out of every emotion I can think of, anger is just useless. Like, what's the point of getting mad? Frustration is probably the closest thing I can get to anger. And frustration and anger, damn near like it's one like 75 degrees, anger is like 90 degrees. Ty got a lot of passion. Y'all want to know something, chat? When I look at my older comment and I look at how I talk, do y'all think that it is like mundane or like dry? This is really, I be chilling, bro. I'm not one of them, hey, dude. Like, I'm not all over the place like that, bro. I'm like calm, bro. Is there anything wrong with being calm, Chad? Is it not entertaining? Let me know, because I'm not going to change. Let me know. It's not going to make a difference. Yo, when we act out of anger, we're reacting. We always have to think. Anger is not only useless to me, it is dangerous. When you have something to lose, everything you do, say, or act out is that much more important. And I don't mean a platform to lose. I mean wealth, connections, relationships. Anger is not just useless, but it's harmful, it's dangerous, it's toxic. Very. Now, if you ain't got nothing to lose, you can do whatever you want. You won't lose anything. But if you have things to lose of value to you, then you better get your ass in check. And also keep in mind what I said, chat. Keep in mind what I said. If you are still at a space in your life where you can be emotionally moved by another person, let me give you an example. Somebody makes me mad, but I'm mad because they made me mad. I'm not mad because I chose to get mad at what they did. What the is the difference? That sounds like some bullshit, right? One is reacting, and one is me consciously saying, you got me up. So because you got me up, I'm not angry and following my emotion. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do next, even while deciding what to do with what I'm about to react to. And when you react to your emotions, it's so instant. It's just like it go. Well, with the second one, I'm already not angry because I'm being mindful. So when you're thinking, it just slows everything down. When you're angry, you're sad, like it's an instant. It's just like it's a reaction. It's like you don't have to think about a reaction. Reactions are like not a reaction. What's the word I'm looking for? What do they call it when a doctor taps your knee and your knee just jumps? What the is that called? I can't remember. The word slipped me. A reflex, right? Reactions are like reflexes. So the moment you consciously decide to do something, it is now no longer a reflex. You slow it down. So even now I'm about to make a decision based on what this person had me up. It's a conscious one. I'm not just reacting. It's not a reflex. Like I actually committed to what I'm about to do. I decided this is what I'm going to do and this is why I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to smack the shit out of them. And I take whatever comes with that. And it's not out of anger. They just got me up. Now, should I slap them? I probably already evaluated that. And probably thought about my moves. That's what you want to be like. Because you'll never get rid of your emotions. But you can stop being controlled by them. But back to the main point of what I was saying. And nigga said ultra instinct. You are at the lowest form of being a bot if a person can influence you emotionally. If I can make you feel confident, if I can make you angry, if I can make you sad, if I can make you happy. I shouldn't be able to make you anything. You should be who you are or as you are, right? Whatever it is. I'm calm, I'm happy, I'm whatever, right? If I can come in and shift you emotionally, you are a puppet with strings that go so deep into your skin. You just like, but you did as a Pinocchio, bro. You just influence. Why is this a problem? It's not a problem when you go to the bus stop and the motherfucker step on your shoes and you get mad and you beat them up and you go to jail or some shit. That's not the problem. The problem is when you meet a mother who is highly intelligent, highly emotionally intelligent, manipulative, sociopathic, psychopathic, whatever the fuck they are combined, right? And then they use you at their will. That's the problem. It ain't just you arguing with your parents and you punched a hole in the wall. You could get the hole fixed. But when somebody takes your strings, you're done. You just need not to run into the wrong person or the wrong woman. That's where you watch these situations where it's a guy and he's like he got cheated on, or him and the girl arguing and whatever. It was some clip. Let me see, what can I think of? The best thing a woman can do is leave you, right? The best thing a woman can do is walk away. When you getting cheated on or when she's manipulating you emotionally, she cries and then you get on your knees and you start helping her and you do whatever she say to keep her. And when you living like that, you are being manipulated, bro. That's not love. That's not a relationship. That's a I'm trying to do whatever I can to maintain this shit. That's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. That person is making you do whatever they need you to do to satisfy them, to keep them happy, to make them feel good. That's not a relationship. If y'all can't do nothing and chill together and appreciate each other's time, it always got to be money involved. It always got to be a negative reaction that compromises you. Because let me tell y'all this. Here's why compromise is a bad thing. Let me show y'all this real quick. And I learned this in a communication course. Right? I show this sometimes. Here's the problem with compromise. Okay, look. Look at this shit. Y'all see this? Y'all see my screen, right? Actually, I wasn't even thinking compromise. Accommodating. That's the word I was thinking of. I was thinking of accommodation. Like accommodating. Now, this is a chart that we had in one of my classes. It was talking about leadership styles and shit like that. But it was applied to relationships and connections in like a workplace. But it applies to real life too. Like your friends, your family, your girlfriend, right? Now look at this. On one side of the chart, the y-axis is the importance of achieving a goal, right? Now, in class, we didn't have it as that. We had it as importance of the other party and the importance of self. Basically, right? If you are constantly accommodating, the importance of the relationship is more important than yourself. It was the self versus the other party or the other relationship, right? So when you accommodate, you're constantly throwing yourself under the bus. When you're collaborating, it's a win-win situation. I win and they win. When you're competing, it's a win and lose situation. I have to win and you have to lose, or you have to win and I have to lose. When you're avoiding something, one or both parties seek to suppress the conflict, like y'all avoid it, y'all run away from it. So y'all both lose in that situation, or it's not important to you. You don't care. And compromise, both parties win and give up something. There's a compromise. There's, okay, you give up this, I give up this, and we come to the, an agreement on that. And the problem with constantly accommodating is that you're always picking up and trying to satisfy the other side, and they're never giving anything up. They're never sacrificing anything. They're never doing anything to earn your respect, to earn your trust, to earn your relationship. But you're always just trying to keep it up and accommodate to them. And the reason a lot of people do that, why? Because they think they're with a woman who is out of their league. Listen to the shit, the ideas people subscribe to and believe in order to accommodate to another person. Out of my fucking league. If they cut your hand and they cut my hand, or both our blood is going to come out red. We got a heart. I got one heart, two eyes, two ears. Like, we both human. What league are we talking about? And this is from people. All right, I'll pause it. Because I'm about to start cooking. How do we find out which one we are? I remember on Sneaker Stream, you identify him as the shark and yourself as the owl. Right, people, that was the thing about it. People have natural leadership styles, and they all complement each other in different ways. People like Trump are more like the shark, and, stuff like that. It's why people like him bump heads with people, etc. There's a lot of stuff like that. Emotional distress can cause Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Is she in the NBA? The fuck is the league? Bro, I'm telling you, people buy this shit. Like, you know what? She's so pretty. I'm not her type. What? Number one, she can't even control how she look, assuming it's nothing unnatural. And even then, if it is something unnatural, what does how she looks have to do with her talking to you or respecting who you are? And then if she doesn't, does that make you any less of who you are her at the end of the day? Or him or anybody? How do I control my emotions better? What's that video on YouTube, chat, that I did that I broke that shit down? What's the name of that video? Master Your Emotions. I probably titled that. Master Your Emotions. Are the ads done? Out of your league. Right. Chat, there's so many things that people would have you believe and listen to make you feel any different about yourself. Now, if we go back to the allegory, the cave. Now, if you know nothing about this, basically when you're a child and you're growing up, you absorb, you're a sponge to everything in the world. And keep in mind, the world has been going on since before you were born, right? And these people are also have been sponges to the world that they were born in, whatever that world is, whether it's religion or a certain identity of a culture or an ethnicity or a country or a political like whatever it is, they have absorbed that and they just learned it and it became who they think that they are. They've replaced it for their identity, right? They have identified with their community, their upbringing. It's who they think they are, right? Now, you continue based on who you think you are, right? I am black. I'm a man, right? And when these definitions are taken, when you absorb them, you absorb the rules of them. I'm poor. I'm short. You absorb the rules that people share and give out. Okay, if you're short, if you're this, if you're that, she won't like you, she won't talk to you, right? You absorb these rules and you start to live by them. And then as you live by them, you start to follow them, right? So for example, She's out of my league because I'm short, I don't have enough money, and I don't drive a certain car. And guess what? Why are you out of her league? Right, socially constructed. Because she also thinks that there are leagues. So she is also abiding and living by the rules that she absorbed, which have made her feel higher or shorter. Or even a man. There are men who are arrogant because I got a lot of money, I got a lot of status, so I'm better than you because I have all these things which I have inflated myself with. And you can have all of these things and not inflate your sense of self with them. So these don't make you superficial. These don't make you materialistic at all. It's just that when you stand on them and you identify with them as who you are, and this is where you get your identity from, you can tell, chat. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? You can tell when somebody only gets their identity from their lifestyle, their status, their money, or their looks. You can tell when it's somebody's identity, right? They have to look perfect. They have to let you know that they got a lot of money. They have to keep reminding you and bringing up their status. Are y'all following me, chat? People want to grow up, but they don't actually mean something else. You're asking a different question. Kinda, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What are you talking about? Like, you know, when superficial people try to gloat that and try to stand on top of it. I'm better than you because I have this nice car. I have this nice house. I'm better than you. Make you feel less of yourself because you don't have that, or you're not as handsome, tall, pretty, beautiful, whatever. If you're a woman watching this, whatever the case may be. And these people, when you believe in these ideologies, these concepts, and you follow them and you live by them, it makes their life easier. Because not only do they benefit from the rules that they told you to follow, but if you play by their rules, guess what? It's easier for them to win in this game. Because you're playing by the rules that benefit them. The rules don't even benefit you in any way, shape, or form. So why are you following them? Because you don't know any better. You just learned to follow them because somebody else you knew was following them, and another person they knew was following them. And then you continue to follow them. You never made your own rules. Are y'all following me so far? Are y'all following me so far? This is all connected to the league shit, right? She's out of your league. Because as long as she continues to think she's out of my league, she's gonna say, and put me down, and then put another guy up, and he earns her or he deserves her from based on this league, right? And that qualifies him, right? And if the quality isn't even one that is a characteristic which is reliable, such as, is he trustworthy? Does he have leadership qualities and skills? Is he intelligent? Is he, like, etc.? Think of words and we can't even think of characteristics because we always thinking about this person's tall, handsome, got a lot of money, lifestyle. This is what qualifies people nowadays. They don't tell us about them. They could have scammed for their money, and I don't mean scammer like as in typical like swiping card scammer. I mean like they could have shit on people to get their money. They could have stole it from somebody for like. I mean, they still got it, but my point is it doesn't tell you about who they are. But if they stand on it, then they can convince you that it says something about them and that means something. It's like, bro, I'm telling y'all. And the best example I can think of is a person shitting on you because you don't have what they have. Now, again, remember, who made the rules? That's not important right now. What's important is that you just absorb the rules and you continue to follow them, and they benefit certain people, and you lose because they benefit them, but you're following rules that benefit them. So you're choosing to lose because the cards are already leaning against you. Now, we just talking about looks, money, and status, right? Push this forward. The game is over when you stop caring, or you make them realize that it's not important. Okay, you're pretty, you're out of my league. You won't always be pretty. So who are you? Okay, you have a lot of money, you have a nice car, a lot of status. You are still who you are when you go to bed at the end of the day. I am who I am. I can get your money and you can lose your money. So the common denominator is you. Who the fuck are you? Why do I have to care that you have this money when I can get it too? Let's keep going. Right? But this is me questioning shit that y'all die for. Like, oh my God, I can suck this. I just need to suck this person's soul and just look up to them because they have so much money. And this is the y'all follow willingly without even thinking about it. So this person that follows these rules that was just given to them, right? You follow them, you submit to them rules, you live for it, you die for it, etc. You defend it, etc. And it makes you feel less of yourself. Meanwhile, it makes you feel less of yourself because you're measuring up to the same rules. You don't even know how to judge yourself or measure yourself or look at yourself from your own perspective. You're looking at it from the rules which were given to you. And if it was a religion, it would be like, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. Somebody had to tell you that. Like, you weren't born knowing that. And then you stay behind it. And I hate to even use religion, right? But this is an example of rules you're given and told, and then you live by, and then it changes with how you act, how you think, etc. But let's keep it to money, looks, and status. You're not good enough if you don't have this car or these cars, these clothes, and all that. Somebody had to tell you that. When did it come? Somebody had to tell you that and make you mean something. And again, we're not even talking about the natural way of things. And I think the natural way of things is that a woman will test the man she wants to be with. A woman will look for certain qualities in the man that she wants to be with. And now we have associated those qualities with the materialistic things. That's what has happened. And we have associated, same thing with the woman. So if the woman associates these qualities with materialistic things of the man's, and she'll go for the man that has these materialistic things, we have done the same. We have associated qualities with a bad bitch. She bad, she pretty. That makes her worthy and valuable enough to be my woman. I need to do anything to get her. Who the told you a bad bitch was valuable? Well, if you think about it, other men respect you when your woman is pretty. Other men respect you when you have a high body count. But does that really make her a quality woman? Or does that make that man a quality man? Now, playing by these rules, it does. But when you play by your own rules, you say, hell no, it doesn't. Just because she got a fat ass and she's pretty, she's valuable to me. She's pretty. And I'm not even going to take away from her pretty and say, oh, there's another pretty woman. I'm not going to take away from this man's money and say somebody has more, somebody has less. But I'm saying you do not qualify in my world for having that. I need to see things about your character. Are you trustworthy? Are you a person who is dependable? Or do you have leadership qualities? Do you live by integrity? Do you have rules and a code to live by? Are you morally consistent? Are you honest? This is the shit that in my world, it means something. So whether you a CEO or you a homeless person, I'm not going to assume and feel bad for you just because you're homeless. And I'm not going to look up to you just because you're a CEO. Who the f are you? Now, again, once you stop giving a f about people's rules, this is when you interact with a person, right? This is when you interact with a person and people look at you from the outside and they say, yo, how are you so confident? It's not a matter of confidence. It's just that I'm equally dealing with my reality. I'm equally dealing with my reality. So whether this person has clout, this person doesn't, I treat them equally because I don't see their clout. I see who they are. Whether this woman is a bad chick, a lot of clout, a lot of status, some huge, like it's like how people reacted to the Ruby Rose E-Day or me meeting Cheyenne or me meeting Melly. Like the reason these people with me and I don't have any, I don't alter how I act or get around them is because I'm consistently me. And I look at them for who they are. So the type of impression and impacts I engage with people are just complete. It's in a new world. They're never used to it, which is why I stand out. Because I don't look at them and see the other things I don't see what I was taught to see. I see what I know I see. I don't look at them from the eyes, from the glasses that was put on my eyes. I took the glasses off. I see them for who they are. And I teach them. And guess what? This is where we take it even further. I teach them a new way to see themselves. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? It's a whole different world, man, when you don't follow the rules, man, internally and externally. Like I said, chat. Where y'all want to go with this, man? Where y'all want to go with this? How you teach them a new way to see themselves? Well, you teach them a new way to see themselves and it happens through you. Now, why does it happen through you? Because we are, as human beings, it's in our human nature to become who we spend time with innately. So if they spend a lot of time with me, then I start rubbing off on them. Now, equally so, couldn't they rub off on me? No, because I am deeper rooted in myself than they are deeper rooted in their materialistic things. Because it's superficial. It's already a weak foundation to begin with. When I am who I am and I accept myself to my deepest level of me, you can't move that. You can't take that from me. I can take your car, your clothes, your jewelry, and your looks and your status. But you can't take me from me because I am who I am. My foundation is 1,000,000 times stronger. So if a tornado came through and the wind is blowing, what's going to lift up faster? A car or a brick cemented building? The car going to go flying. Not the building might actually fly, but it's going to stand firmer because the foundation is stronger. That's how it is when people who are superficial interact with a motherfucker who is one with themselves and deep in tune with themselves. It's like two forces collide. One is going to be forced to move, and it ain't the person who's rooted in themselves. The roots run too deep, and not only that, in order for them to become deeper rooted in themselves, they had to get rid of their original roots. They had to get rid of the original garden, which probably was the same superficial shit, because we don't have a choice when we're growing up who our parents are, how they think, where our community is, and how our community thinks, and how our community teaches us to see ourselves. We don't have a choice. Now, a person can choose to stay a bot or choose to stay following these rules till the day they die. Even it has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with age. And in fact, the older a person gets, the more conservative they get in whatever they believe and stand on. So it's not necessarily an age thing. Being woke has nothing to do with age. It's an individual choice to let go. But again, if you will not let go if you think letting go or jumping off the cliff is going to kill you. Well, it will kill you. It will kill who you were. And then when you are reborn, a new person, a new version of yourself, and you start to see yourself differently, you see the world differently, the version of you said goodbye to, the version of you which died, you can't even remember them. But you respect them, you appreciate them because they got you that far in life. The problem is that if you think that keeping that version of you alive, it's so weird. Like I said about the rules earlier that life has taught you to follow. If you think that breaking those rules will lead to a punishment, then you'll avoid breaking those rules. But when you follow your own rules, regardless of if they break the popular rules or the popular standards and norms of society, when you follow your own motherfucking rules against all odds and by any means necessary, this is when a person can say they can either question you curiously or they can die on the rules that they follow. Like the NPC they are. And who's to say yours is better or worse? The point is that you stand by and know who you are and live by who you are and who you choose to be instead of following who you should be, who others think you are, who others want you to be. And again, like I said, there's a reward and punishment system here. You're rewarded for having looks, money, and status and clout. You're rewarded for following the rules that benefit other people. You're rewarded. And how are you rewarded? Rewarded. Social acceptance. People put you on a pedestal. People like you. You feel good about yourself. Not because of how you think about yourself, but because of how other people feel about you, how other people think about you. And when you live in this superficial world, that feels like a strong foundation. But in fact, it is not, because you're like water just swinging back and forth. As soon as somebody feel good about you, they'll let you know you're doing something good. They feel bad about you, you're doing something wrong. So you try to automatically steer this way so they can feel good about you again. It's like you're always chasing that. You're not firm or stable. But when you firm yourself, your reward and punishment system is self-sustaining. Like I said in the earlier stream about confidence, motivation, purpose, inspiration, determination, all that shit. If you are not self-sustaining, then someone or something or some external force, whether it be a car, clothes, a person's opinion, or a person's perspective on you, will always change how you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, and what you choose to do. Because you aren't self-sustaining. All right, chat. I'll catch my breath. I'll catch my breath. And why aren't you told to think about yourself? Because you're harder. You cannot be controlled when you think for yourself and you think about yourself. And what's wrong with not being able to be controlled? Well, where does the power go? If another person can't control you, where does the power go, chat? Where does the power go? Oh. You have it now. That's the problem. You have it now. So that's why you aren't taught to think for yourself. If you think for yourself, you'll do what the you want. And if you do what the you want, you're not doing what somebody else wants you to do. And if you're not doing what they want you to do, they're going to have a problem. But do you have a problem doing what you want to do? No, you don't. You only have a problem because somebody else has a problem and they don't approve of it. But this goes back to the rules that you're taught to follow. It's like a being a hamster on a wheel, man. So deep in the forest you don't even see the trees. Or so deep in the trees you don't even see the forest. Oh man. I put too much Bliss X on. We need a vid about this. I need to be able to pause and replay. This I just basically summarized my allegory to cave video. I just made it like more refined. I just had a whole discussion of what we was talking about. This is a good meal today. This book finna be a 5-course meal. Brother, I'm telling you, man. And I'm telling you, we it's so funny because we see so many identities that people stand by. That's why I said I didn't want to focus on religion. Religion is like an obvious one, but it could be a religion, it could be a gang, it could be an ethnicity, it could be a culture, it could be a sport, it could be a whatever. What it's always what a person is. People will not be able to tell you who they are. They'll tell you what they are, what they do. They cannot tell you who they are. They don't know. They just always have identified and associated with those things. Recording. I came back with a mission, but I'm telling you, lock in, brother, lock in. Info so deep, I want to die. You might have to say goodbye to the version of you live by, bro. You gotta say goodbye, man. You gotta tell that motherfucker goodbye, but you gotta do it with grace. You gotta put him down softly, or put her down softly if it's, I know it's not all men watching this. You gotta be able to tell that person goodbye, but it's nothing to be sad about, because that version of you has gotten you this far. They've allowed you to fit in. They've allowed you to be approved and accepted by others. They've allowed you to conform and coast and get by. But is an eagle meant to coast, or is an eagle meant to soar? You know what I'm saying? So it respectfully, once you realize your identity, once you see yourself, then you can pay true respects to what you are supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be living and who you're supposed to be, not what you were given. And even so much so that you'll stand on that by anything else. This guy, Zudik Coda, he don't even realize, he just let me know I'm winning. Zudik Coda came in the chat. No, you shouldn't have been there. I wanted to read the message. He said, shut your ass up, you not woke. Imagine coming into the chat, you just followed me, your first message is telling me about myself. I've been here 21 years. There's nothing you could tell me about myself, brother. So people like that people that think that they can throw an opinion on you and affect how you think of yourself, they just tell you that there's also a person who has that power over them in their own life. Because he couldn't have came in and said something positive. I mean, he could have said, listen, He could have said something positive and it wouldn't have made me feel any different. Yo, man, you just changed my life. I would have appreciated that. I would have been grateful for it, but it wouldn't have made me feel any different. He could have said something negative. It's not going to make me feel any different about myself. Only he can try to say something because he has that power. So he's going to try to exert that power over another person. Somebody has that power over him. But you are powerless, brother. All you let me know is I'm rent-free in your head. I already won. You made the account, you set the follow, and you typed the comment. I'm one. I'm in your head rent-free. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about my community. I'm thinking about the chat. I'm thinking about I'm live. I'm thinking about I woke up. I'm grateful to be alive today. I'm grateful I got to strive towards my goals today. I can't even think about giving my opinion on another person. Where do they come up in my life? What if you already don't fit in? See, the thing about the rules I described is that there are people who know something's wrong. No matter how much they pretend to believe and pretend to fit in and pretend to follow the crowd, they know something's wrong. They only delusionally ignore it. But it's a feeling they can't shake. Like, I just know, they choose to subscribe to the delusion and follow it. That's all right. And maybe they'll live and they'll die like that, living a delusion, living with the illusion, living in fear, living in doubt. Not everybody can step off the porch. Not everybody can jump off the cliff. And not everybody can leave the forest and start planting their own trees and live on their own and be self-sustaining. Not everybody can do that. However, there are certain people who cannot shake that feeling. And that if they did not shake the feeling, it would drive them insane, pretending and trying to convince themselves that they don't feel what they feel and that they don't know what they know. They would much rather, right, ignorance is bliss, exactly. I don't want to lean into myself. I don't want to depend on myself. I don't want to go deeper into myself. I'm going to go deeper into another ideology, another way of thinking. I'm going to depend on another person. I'm going to do anything but run to that mirror. I'm going to do anything but run to myself and ask myself and go here. Because I know that if I go here, I might never think the same again. So you know what? If I keep pretending, I'm going to just get rid of it. But that feeling that they know never goes away. They can't shake it. So with those people, once they stop shaking it, once they stop trying to ignore it and try to like lie about it or lie to themselves, and they start to accept the truth and stand in who they are, it's no going back. It's no going back. That's the thing about it. It's no going back. It's almost a level of self-harm to go back because they know it ain't right. And with those people, again, go to the place that got them there in the first place, which is in themselves. That's where it's coming from. How can one become more self-sufficient? Self-sustaining is the word I use. Self-sustaining. You have to create those ways for yourself. Now, guess what? You are the end and the beginning. You are your everything. You tell yourself what to think, how to think, and why you choose to think that way. You tell yourself your opinion, why it's your opinion, and why you choose to stand on that opinion. And you defend it, you live by it. Not towards arrogance. Not towards being closed-minded. That's not what this is about, being closed-minded, arrogant, and so stern and rigid that you're like, you cannot move. But you're a free thinker, you're an open thinker. You just don't follow blindly. And you choose to follow yourself because you trust your judgment. And you do not judge yourself. Remember I quoted that from Steve. He said, I do not judge myself, but I trust my judgment. And people, y'all don't understand that at first glance. I do not judge myself, but I trust my judgment. See, it doesn't make sense to a lot of y'all on the surface at first glance. But I know how to break this shit down to y'all. Think about it like this. People do the opposite. All they do is judge themselves. I'm not good enough. She won't like you. You're too short. You're not handsome enough. You don't have enough money. You can't do it. All people do is judge themselves. And they don't trust their judgment. When it's time to make a decision, they ask another person. When it's time to commit, They ask another person, they look something up, they go outside of themselves. They don't trust their judgment. They're indecisive. They hesitate. They need reassurance. So they don't even trust their judgment, but all they do is judge themselves. But guess what? When you're one with yourself, you do not judge yourself, but you trust your judgment. Now let me tell you. Now let me know if that makes sense. And if it still don't, your eyes ain't meant to be open, brother. I'm just sorry. I don't make the rules. I do not make the rules of the universe. Your eyes ain't just meant to be open. I'm 5'4" and 16. How can I gain more confidence in myself like Avery Brady? Again, if you listen, guess what? The thing about Avery B's confidence is nobody needs to tell him to feel good about himself. He's going to walk up to that woman and be confident. He's going to chase his goals and his dream and be confident. And he's going to take that risk and bet on himself. Typical behavior of a person who trusts themselves and has inner confidence. Self-sustaining confidence. I don't need my mom to support my dreams. I don't need my dad. I don't need the last customer. I don't need my coworkers to support my dreams. I support me, and that's enough because I'm self-sustaining. I like this guy, Zidakota. He only proves certain points. So, chat, the first message he said was, man, shut your bitch ass up. Your ass is not woke. Right? Then he said, damn Solomonati, what you time me out for? Do y'all see the clear lows that they try to go to? But he don't even realize he's only letting me know I'm winning. Why? I'm in your head rent free. You're in my stream, watching my ads, typing in my chat while we're having the conversation. I'm in your head rent free, brother. Rent free. Meanwhile, right? I couldn't spot you from a crowd if you were standing next to me. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are, but I don't need to. You don't need me to care. This is not about me putting you down either. It's just that when you don't know who you are, you try to change how somebody thinks of themselves because you think it does something. Everything you've said so far has had no merit or any value. It only tells me that you're the kind of person who I would not even respect in the first place. You're a surface dweller, as my guy Steve. A surface dweller. You're a bot. You're an android. And I don't say this to make you feel any different about yourself. It just is what it is. I don't make the rules, bro. Maybe your parents shit on you and called you names and it made you feel bad and hurt your feelings. But people can't tell me about myself. I've reached the point you cannot tell me who I am. I know who I am. So if I can tell you anything about yourself, I feel bad because how would you disrespect yourself like that you would let a stranger tell you who you are? It blows my mind. It blows my mind, brother. All right, chat, what's the last thing y'all heard before the ads got ran now? Let this be a learning lesson. No, let it be, chat. That's why I wanted him to stay in the chat, to show you how, like, when you in tune with yourself and you had that confidence, how do you interact with people who come at you like that? How do you interact with negativity? How do you interact with criticism? Well, it just hits your perspective differently. You see, if my perspective was back to the older rules, the rules that society gave me, what does society tell you? Society tells you that if you put this brand of clothes on, it tells somebody about you. Oh shit, he got that shit on. He's him. If you have a pretty enough chick next to your shoulder, it tells me about you. Yo, his chick bad. He's the guy. But I'm self-sustaining. I'm me with or without the bad chick. I'm me with or without the name brand clothing. I don't feel any different and I don't feel any better or worse. I am who I am. So by these rules, right? A person comes in, puts their opinion on you. They do it when they have a negative intention, or even, let's say, a positive intention. They don't even mean any harm. They're trying to lift you up. They disrespect you either way. Do you know why? Because yes, I can give you positive motivational words, but what happens when I'm not there? What happens when you can't watch that video to get motivated? What happens when you're lifting and you don't have the music? Can you still pick the weight up? What happens when you don't have the name brand designer clothes on? Can you still approach that woman? What happens when your girl ain't as pretty as your last girl? Can you still appreciate the woman she is? What happens? So that's why the negative and the positive is just as equally dangerous when you depend on anything that's outside of yourself. So let's continue. Now back to what I said about the ads though. Back to what I said about the ads. What's the last thing? How to get self? I don't think that's the last thing I was saying. I think I was talking. Somebody asked a question about like, oh, you know what? Was it the self-sustaining confidence part? Was it? How to use your own mindset. I think that might be a different question. I don't remember that. I think it might have been that because the dude said something about I'm 5'4" and 16. How do I get like Avery B, right? Now let's look at Avery B, right? Avery B has multiple YouTube channels which have gotten past 100K. Successful career. Now, mind you, from somebody else's standard, listen, also comes from Atlanta. And I remember seeing a vlog talking about he used to work at a warehouse and all that. So guess what? He wasn't put on. He had to grind. He still had to work for his shit. You take an example like Avery B, a self-made man, right? A man from the ground up. Don't come from a lot of money. Now I don't know that part. Like, don't come from a lot of money. Was just given with a big channel from some connection or something like that. A self-made man from his own work ethic, his own decisions. Ask me if this person is self-sustaining or do they depend on the opinions of others. Are they self-sustaining or do they need motivation? Are they self-sustaining or do they need to be inspired? Are they self-sustaining or do they need somebody to make them feel confident? You tell me what, chat. What do y'all think? Take a grand guess. Take a grand guess. Just think about it. Do the same. All these people make themselves do the same. You're not TyKwonDoe 2.0. Somebody will catch you, baby bro. Do you practice Buddhism, brother? Self-sustaining, right? And the reason you know a person like that is self-sustaining is because they do not change the goal that they're working towards, even after they have it. And they had the same determination while they were working towards their goal. They don't just stop. They don't just quit. They don't. Oh my God. What the? Hey, Devil's Nephew with the 25 gifted. I appreciate all the followers, everybody. I appreciate all the followers, especially because we having a deep conversation. We ain't talking about, no entertainment. I'm not trying to sit here and waste your time and do 10 cartwheels and keep you entertainment and just be the clapping monkey from Call of Duty. I'm trying to have some substance. I'm trying to create a platform where I do things that impact people and improve them as they are, or give them some information which they can choose to improve themselves with. At the end of the day, it's on you. I can't make you do anything. I can't make you anything or anybody. It's always on you. Do not give me that credit. It's on you. Substance Sundays is what I should have called it. Instead of Sunday Fun Day, I like that. Substance Sunday. Every day is a substance day, but that just rhymes, brother. That just flows. I like that. Shout out to the guy, man. That was it. I ain't gonna lie. No, that was one. That was it. Where does God or a higher power would fit in with a self-sustained person? Now, that is that individual's choice. Purpose, typically self-sustained individuals have a sense of purpose. And by a sense of purpose in general just means, Karma with the Twitch Prime sub. Let me simplify purpose, because everybody tells you to chase your purpose, get on your purpose. Purpose just means that you live for something bigger than yourself. This can be financial freedom. This can be the best. This can be changing your community. This can be being the best father ever. This is having a purpose just means you live for something greater than yourself, right? And people who are self-sustaining have a sense of a purpose. That's why they sacrifice themselves. They sacrifice their sleep. They sacrifice their feelings. They sacrifice their relationships with other people. They sacrifice things that make them feel good because they're living for more than themselves. Which is why a lot of purposeful people were willing to die for what they lived for. Sounds weird, doesn't it? They were willing to die for what they lived for. Now, when you say, where does God or where's this, the universe or higher power come into this? Is that just because you have a sense of a purpose does not mean you believe in a higher power. So some self-sustaining people don't believe in God. And they have a crazy amount of determination, discipline, work ethic. They're self-sustaining and they don't believe in God. That is that individual's choice. Like me, I believe everything happens for a reason. I don't believe we just on some rock of a planet and this shit just popped up by all odds. That's my choice. But you can be atheist and self-sustaining, and you can believe in God and be self-sustaining. I think that a lot of times in religions, they have stories of people who were self-sustaining. Even one of the most famous ones, like Jesus Christ. You know why? These people are self-sustaining, and then through God, they get validation. They get validation. Well, that's what a lot of people who are. But I don't want to mix the two. I don't want to mix the two and say that you need some higher power to be self-sustaining. But a lot of times in religious stories, they use their principles that they were given from God, and they sustain themselves through that. Even if it goes against societal norms, even if it goes against what's popular, all that. Here's my rules in my code book. I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, and I'm not doing that because I'm following these rules. So that is a choice to be self-sustaining through their standards. Either way, it doesn't matter whether there's a higher power involved or not. It's just choosing to live based on your own standards, own principles, and validating yourself from whatever means something to you. Just feel like my life too easy right now, but when it get hard, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm still in school. My mama don't let me work. Tough. I was waiting for someone to do something to fill in a resume application. What's your successful daily routine? Honestly, keep it being a lot of shit I'm planning to do every day is like, work on videos, Patreon DMs. Most of the days like Patreon calls, stream, piano, guitar, singing, starting to write in this book, the gym, eating healthy. So everybody has different goals because not everybody goes to the gym and tries to get buff. Some people go to the gym and just want endurance. Now, if you ask me, I'm not lifting weights for stamina, bro. I'm not getting strong to run away from somebody. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't need. It's like no, I'm big. You definitely want to work on your stamina and endurance, Chad. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Are you planning to release music? I'm on a stage right now where I'm learning everything I can about music, reading music, playing instruments. I'm just like fully immersed in that, bro. I see it as another form of creation that I love and enjoy. How do you edit videos every day and not burn out? Shit hard for me. This is when people talk about burnout. Let me give an example, chat. Burnout means you're pushing and not being pulled. Let me give an example. If I'm pushing a rock, a big ass boulder up a hill, I'm going to get burned out. But if the rock is pulling me up the hill, then it's not hard. I'm not expending energy to do what I'm doing. I'm being pulled to it like a magnet, like metal to a magnet. And the reason that editing for me does not burn me out and editing burns you out is because when I'm editing, I'm being pulled to create the vision that I want to create. I'm being pulled to drop a video that I want people to see and learn from. I'm being pulled to create a product that I enjoy making, that I want other people to enjoy making. For you, you're doing hard work. It's hard work for both of us, but you're pushing yourself to do it. I'm not pushing myself to do it. I'm being pulled to do it. I can tell how much you're inspired by Prince. I'm inspired by Prince, Michael Jackson, Rick James, Bob Marley, Malcolm X. I'm not gonna name a bunch of people that inspire me, but it's the common thing that they have that inspires me. I respect people who have put the fucking work in and have made their impact from the work that they put in. I'm talking about genuine work. I'm not talking about for the love or the money, the clout, and the fame. I'm talking about genuine work. Like you can't disrespect Michael Jackson's career and talk about work. You can't disrespect Malcolm X and talk about the impact that he made. You can't talk about, and all of these people through their creation, right? Whether it was public speaking like somebody like Malcolm X or so community service and community work, or music like Bob Marley and even stuff like that, these people transcended their skills. Like who they are and the impact that they made was bigger than their skills. I mean, you even look at the blueprint. Prince was like one of the, like where artists are independent. Prince was huge in that. Fighting against these big record companies from finessing people. Prince was huge in that. He went against Warner Bros. And then they ended up giving him like 100 mil or something like that. 100 mil plus. Crazy. Like now artists have more, like, do y'all research, bro. Do y'all research. Even him playing all them instruments that he could play and all that. And listen, not just being able to play another instrument, pick it up and just blow the trumpet and like, bro, being highly skilled at the instrument you play. That takes time. That lets you know the amount of times or the days, weeks, and months and years he spent in his crib working on his skill. I can't do nothing but respect that. And nowadays, chat, when people are good at something or highly skilled at something, everybody wants you to think they were just born like that. Everybody wants you to think oh my God, it's just such a special given. It's just a given thing. Bro, talent can be wasted so fast. When you look at great people, they took their talent and they put that shit under the fire. They forged it like a blacksmith hits iron, bro. Nothing is natural. It's that they worked so hard at it that it became natural. And if I'm telling you, that's nobody respects work anymore. Nobody respects consistency. Nobody respects doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. That it's so fucking boring. Nobody respects that. Nobody respects streaming 7 days a week for 7 months straight. Nobody respects that. They respect the end goal. They respect the success. Nobody respects work anymore. It's like we discredit work now. We just look at somebody blowing up and say, damn, look at they blowing up, they fly, they fashionable. I want to be successful. But do you want to work? No, I just want to be successful. Well, they didn't have to work that hard. What does that have to do with how hard you have to work and the work you have to put in? And why are you trying to copy them? You're not them, and they are not you. This is a complete disrespect to work. Everybody wants easy convenience. Yeah, fuck how bad do you want it? Like, how much do you respect the game? How much do you respect what it takes to be at that high level? We can sit here and be like, yo, Michael Jackson's so great, and Prince did what he did. But look at the shit that they did. When Prince, what album was that? I don't know. Purple Rain. When Purple Rain went crazy, the album, right? Prince made a movie. A movie to one up Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson made, when Michael Jackson had music videos, his music videos would be like entire blockbuster, like, scripts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't like a music. It just wasn't, the song was good. He would put like all these acting scenes in it. Prince made a full movie. And the movie did crazy. And it helped the album too. Everything did crazy. Now listen, the point I'm making is, like, this is, do you want it or not? And look at the extreme that they went to. Look at the work that they put in. I do nothing but respect that. When whether no matter what the field is, even if I look at a math teacher, and this math teacher went to college for 4 years and then got their master's degree for 4 years and then got their PhD in this and blah blah blah, their professor, dog, you gotta respect that. They good at what they do, but they put that work in. I don't think we respect work no more. Fun fact for Pharrell, Frontin' by Pharrell was meant to be for Prince. Interesting. Prince put out a whole soundtrack for Batman just because. I'm telling you, bro. And this is another thing that we're losing nowadays, chat, because of so many people. Attention spans are so short and everything is so needy and grabby, and you going this way, you going that way, you going here, you going there. Do y'all know what the word immersion means? To be immersed in something. Do y'all know what that means? Think about that, chat. What is immersion? Immersion. I don't know why I'm f***ing up my words today. But if you know the word I'm saying, then you're not going to say, like, bro, this nigga can't pronounce it. Immersion. Think about it. Define that, right? Put your definitions in the chat. 100% attention, soak into something, going into it, something completely engrossed, to be dove in, I don't know, to be absorbed, to put yourself in it, to be intensely focused. Immersion is simply this. If you go into the ocean and go to the bottom, you're immersed in the ocean. When you are immersed in your craft, in your grind, everything around you reminds you of it. So Michael Jackson, he'll talk about like, oh, one of his biggest songs. I can't even remember the song, but I just remember the story. He was on a flight, and he didn't have nothing to write with. He had to remember the humming of the song all the way until he got to the studio when he went to record the song. Do you know that tells me that he was immersed in his music and his creation? How does that tell me that? Because he thought about creating a song randomly on a flight. He wasn't distracted. Even while being bored, he thought about his craft. He didn't look for a distraction. And immersion is not just an obsession. It's not an obsession. Immersion just means you just fully surrounded and reminded by. Think about how your phone gives you notifications. That, like, immersion, you don't even need notifications. You're always in the mindset of what you're grinding for. And immersion is so powerful. You know why it's so powerful? Because it's like it almost makes you delusional. It's like you don't see anything else. You only think about what you want to think about. If I'm thinking about creating content, I'm thinking about how to better edit. Oh, think of it like this. When you're immersed, chat, it's like everything goes to your filter and goes through a filter and comes out what you want it to be. I might see a TikTok and I might filter it out and say, I'm going to use this random ass TikTok to make better content. I might see a couple arguing on the street and I might say, I'm going to use this to make better content. I might go to a concert and it still goes back to making better content because I'm fully immersed in making better content. So no matter what the fuck I do, where I'm at, what I see, it always goes back to what I'm immersed in. Everything just reminds me of what I'm thinking about, what I'm focused on. And the point I'm making is that everybody is so focused on other people's lives. They're so focused on what people think about them. They're so focused on distractions. They're so focused on how they feel, playing the victim, all this that they don't care. They don't even know what they would think about if they were bored. They don't even know what they care about. They don't even know what's important to them. They don't even have nothing to express themselves into because they're always being repressed. They're always being depressed. Different conversation for a different day, man. Have you heard the story of bamboo? It spends its first 5 years growing under the earth. Then in 5 weeks, it shoots up yards into the sky. Nobody saw it coming, but the bamboo always knew. Shout out to Luke Belmar. That's not. I didn't hear that first from him. I forgot where I heard that from, but that's like a commonly like talked about thing. You know what I'm saying? Can you be immersed in different things? Even if you are immersed into different things, like I am with content creation and music, it all goes back to creativity and creation and ways to communicate and express myself. Because even through the music, I'll be doing the same thing. So I'm immersed in creativity. I'm immersed in learning. I'm immersed in trying out new things, expanding, evolving. That's what I'm immersed in. Come on now. At what point does wanting to know / gain more knowledge about things you're not fully versed in to make a decision become you seeking answers outside of yourself? Be more concise with your question. But at what point does wanting to know / gain more knowledge about things you're not fully versed in to make a decision become you seeking answers outside of yourself? Well, it's not you seeking answers outside of yourself. You're doing your research, and then you'll judge the research that you did. The research is not telling you what to do. It's helping you make a more informed decision. You're testing your knowledge. Does that make sense? Like when you're looking to be told what to do and how to think, that's different. Or what to think, excuse me. You gain clarity and then come to a conclusion. I couldn't have said it better, Jordan. Frank says, do you believe in God? Yes. He said, everybody should sit alone in a room and think to time in tune with themselves. For real. For some people, it might be harder to be creative than others. Creativity. You know what I've heard from a lot of creative people? Creativity is like a you might think you're not creative, but you just don't pay attention enough. I'm gonna give you an example. I learned this from my piano teacher, right? Boom. She tells like such random stories. I love it when older people do this. But she was telling like a random story. And she was telling me this story. I don't even remember every detail, but I just remember where she talked about creativity being like it hits you like a lightning bolt. And if you don't get that idea on paper, if you don't get that melody out and record it or hum it, like something like that, it'll leave you. Think about this. If creative people are saying this, that they can get hit with a random like even Michael Jackson said a song came to him on a flight and he had to try to memorize the song by the time he got to the studio to record it so he wouldn't forget it. If some of the most creative people are talking about that shit like creativity like it comes and goes, why do you think you're going to be super creative and you're always thinking about or being distracted? It can never come to you. You're never thinking about your thoughts. You're never thinking about yourself. You're never thinking about what you care about. You're not even focused. You're distracted. You don't care. You just whatever. How do you fuck you think you even gonna get hit? You ain't even bored enough. You ain't even distracted enough. What's the one where Isaac Newton said? I think that's a myth, but like I'm telling you, like extreme boredom creates some of the best shit, bro. Now you shouldn't just be bored and doing nothing, like just staring at the wall, but you know what I mean. Do something that means something. You know what I mean? I want to learn the drums. Drums is fine. I used to play drums in like 8th grade. Drums can really make a song, bro. And I hate to say that when a song is a mix of so many things, but drums mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? Can be so confident or so fulfilled blind you to genuine criticism. No. Because genuine criticism or weak criticism or disingenuous criticism all come through my ears and I hear them out and test the strength of them. And if they can serve me any value, I'll use them. If they don't serve me any value, I won't use them. And also, when you are self-sustaining, you look for things that help you improve. So criticism is only right up your alley. It's not going to sustain you. It's only going to help you get closer to your goal. See, you only look at criticism as, you only think criticism conflicts with being self-sustaining and having self-sustaining confidence, because criticism can make you feel like you're doing good or bad. But that's not how self-sustaining people think about criticism. Self-sustaining people use criticism to get better. I still like, does that make sense, chat? Does that make sense, chat? It's because we let what people say influence us, and that's why we are less creative. We became creative when we block the noise out. Or we draw inspiration from everything. It's a tool, nothing less, nothing more. Exactly. That's a great point. A tool is not... Never mind, I'm not even going to create that metaphor off the spot. I might have it up. I could have just burnt the kitchen just now. Oh, it's good, Helena. I appreciate that. Always checking in, always showing love. Listen, I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I didn't want to explain that in a way where it would confuse y'all, because, you know, that's a good question, talking about genuine criticism. How the f do you use criticism if you're self-sustaining, if your confidence comes from within, if you don't look outside of yourself to feel better or to feel confident or to stay motivated or to stay inspired, right? Well, clearly you don't need criticism for this purpose. Well, what can you use criticism for? To improve. Stay focused. Well deserved. We love to see it. We love to hear it. Like I said, I hope you straight, you know what I'm saying? I hope everything is well. And you know what it is. How can you focus in on something that doesn't interest you at all, like schoolwork? If you're in high school, I would suggest graduating. And even then, let's say you got the balls enough to tell your parents, hey, here's my plan. I want to drop out, get my GED, and then do this, and then do this, and here's my plan. I want to start this business, I want to do this, right? That's possible. Do you have the balls to do that, though? And to potentially fail or potentially succeed? Do you trust yourself enough? You also might have parents who don't let you. But when you graduate high school, you 18 plus, you can start taking your own risks. You know what I'm saying? So for most people, that's a normal life. They get 18 plus. Even after the fact, though, a lot of y'all still let y'all parents control y'all. What y'all don't realize is, I can't speak for everybody, parents, but a good plan is a good plan. A good plan is a good plan. If you got a plan, then you know your parents are going to test it. They might want to know your plan, or maybe you pull some J. Cole. You go to school and you keep your plan a secret and you make your plan happen anyway. Who the f knows? Because you don't need the parents to support it anyway. All you need to do is achieve your goal by any means. Now you follow me. Did that answer your question? Because you talking about it like, oh, how can I do something I don't want to do? Well, you don't have to, technically. You're choosing to. For whatever reason. And guess what? My mom and my dad is like different, bro. So like, when I wanted to drop out to focus on this, my pop once I let my pop know the plan and he saw the certainty and like the strength in my plan and how determined I was. And I made a certain amount of money at that point too. So he was like, whoa. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay. My mom was old school. She was. See, now she's convinced. But at the time, for her, safety was a priority. Security was a priority. And school and college and a degree from her eyes, was the safe thing to do and the secure thing to do. But from my eyes, I was the most secure thing to be. My plans was the most secure thing to do. And my goal was the most secure thing to have. And look who was right. I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. It is what it is. No. Now, if you got two parents that would have thought like my mom, but you don't have a strong amount of confidence, you might have felt, why am my vocabulary slipping right now? I can't think of the opposite. Unmotivated. What's less confident? Like, what's the word I'm thinking of for that? Unencouraged, disencouraged. What the word am I thinking of, chat? I'm like fraud. We just had a whole 2-hour discussion. Discouraged, right? Discouraged. I don't know why I couldn't remember the word. Oh, intimidated is another one. That's a good one. You might feel intimidated, so then you might go back to their plan. They might even threaten you. Well, they might get angry. They might get angry at you for going against the grain, bro. I told y'all, that almost cooked me and my mom relationship because it was like an argument because I didn't want to do what I was being told. But I always been hard-headed my whole life. I always been stubborn. So I already kind of had the traits to do what I wanted to do. But still, let's say you weren't stubborn like me. Let's say you didn't trust yourself. You would have sucked it up and followed the rules and followed the plans. And maybe you wouldn't have a channel with over 320K in a Twitch stream, the booming community, and create and living your dreams. Maybe you wouldn't, because you gave up and you quit. You know what I'm saying? Bro proved her wrong. I don't like to look at it as I proved her wrong. I just proved me right. I proved me right. I proved what I knew I was talking about. I proved that I knew what I was doing. Even though it was unclear from another person's eyes, I knew I saw my vision. and I stood on it. And here we are. Still not done. But here we are. See what I'm saying? I'd rather fail at 20 and then be 40 and regret not chasing my dream. Why do you think 40 is an age you start like, bro? You could if you so think about it like this. If you think I'd rather fail at 20 and then be 40 and regret my life, what if you died at 80? Are you gonna live 40 years regretting your first 40? I personally wouldn't think like that. Such a finite and small way to see your life. You know what I'm saying? It's people that listen. It's people that started new shit when they in their 70s. Started new careers. Started well past 60, 70 years old. He talking in general, right? My point is that no matter what the age is, I don't have to regret my life because I'm always, as long as I'm alive, I can still fix this shit and do what the fuck I want. See, that's the reason I have to correct what you just thought, because what you thought is a toxic way of thinking. People who are determined don't think like that. Like what you just told yourself is that there's a certain point in your life when it's over. And that's not true. When it's too late. For you, the number was 40. You just made it up, right? It could have been 60 or 70 or whatever. For me, it's not too late until I die. No matter how many times I fail, no matter how many times this shit go left or right, until I die, I'm just keep going, bro. Like, that's how you got to see it, bro. You can't see it as like, I'm going to regret my life. Because some people do that. Some people always want to live off their memories and their past. But if you think about it, right? When we see those people that's always like, man, I could have did this, I could have did this, blah, blah, blah. What stopped them from starting 5 years ago or last year? Think about it, chat. People who talk like that, they're not dead. Their dream is dead. But they talk as if they have died. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Don't that sound like they talking like this, like they died or something? Man, I could have been this, and you know when blah blah blah. Like, bro, y'all never thought about that? It's not them that died, it's their dream that died. And when their dream died, maybe their identity was so tied into the dream that they think that they're dead too. And I think that's when people spiral into like a deep depression and whole different conversation, brother. But it really is a sad thing from the outside in, because I just don't see it like that, man. If me being 21 saying that, it's like you could look at people who have had careers well over the age of 50, 60, and 70. So I'm not even saying this from, oh, I did what I wanted to do when I was a young age. I got this kind of thinking when I gave, like I said, when I was in university, and I gave that speech to the Tuskegee Airmen and Women. Now, you might be thinking of Tuskegee syphilis experiment. Not that. The Tuskegee Airmen and Women, some of the first black pilots and nurses in the military, right? Dog, some of these people in this room was like 89. I think the oldest one in the room was 93. 93. U.S. history, like right in front of me. Dog, these people had careers after their career. They started a career after their career. Like didn't finish some of the shit they did until they was like 40, and then started a new career. It's like, yo. And then in front of me, this old, and they're still involved in nonprofits and community organized. It's like, dog, you like 80, you still ain't stopped. And that's when that's what inspired me, right? And the thesis of that speech was, it's not what you are, but who you are. Because when you look at their lives, they're not just the Tuskegee Airmen and Women. They went on to do this, they went on to do that, they went on to do this. Well beyond that original title, which has them being famous and popular. So it's not the what you are, it's the who you are. Because you could have did this, you could have that, and you still are who you are. You still are the makeup of those characteristics, those qualities, those principles, etc. So that really was eye-opening, bro. Somebody quit on themselves, somebody quit on their dream, bro. It's sad to watch, bro. It's sad to watch. It really is, bro. So on social media have you think you gotta have it all concrete by 25. Again, this is what I was saying the other day. Remember, didn't I say that about my first stream back? My first stream back, we had a conversation about that. We said that people only want to show you when they winning. People don't want to show the process. They don't want to show the Photoshop edits. They don't want to show the scars. They don't want to show none of that shit. So now you just have a bunch of people who see an end result. And that end result could be Steph Curry making 100 shots in a row. That end result could be, damn, how did he get a Bugatti? That end result could be, oh my God, Ty got 600 viewers on Twitch. The end result could be, damn, this person got 6 million and 50 million in the bank. We all just looking at end results. We kind of forget that there was a process. And that end result is just so demotivating for people, I guess, because they feel like they don't have it yet. But there's a process. And the thing about success is it is experienced in real time, but you never know when. You never know when. I'm telling you as a person with a platform, like, you never know when. But let me tell y'all something. You don't know when, but you know. And I told you I would not forget that feeling. I would not forget that feeling. You just know. You don't know when, but you just know. You just know. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you just know. And I told y'all what I compared it to. I never forget this feeling. But this wasn't the only moment, right? Because a lot of that led up to the work I put in behind the scenes in order to be prepared to grow how I did. For example, when I was working other jobs like H&M, and I would use my hair, right? I would put my AirPod behind my afro, and I would listen to podcasts that talked about the algorithm, how to make thumbnails, how to edit. I was learning all the video skills while on the clock. This is years before I blew up, right? I was studying, I was absorbing information, trying videos. I got a whole other channel that some of y'all know about, Golden Advice. I had a whole nother gaming channel. Like the content aside, like I had a life though. I was full-time student, like with a real ass major, and I still found time, right? But I'll never forget. It was like March 2021, end of March, and I was my first time traveling ever in my life, first time ever being on a plane. And then on the last day of the trip, it was to LA. On the last day of the trip, on the Uber ride to the airport, I remember looking out the window of the Uber and I was like, yo, I didn't say to myself, that MF Julio, I appreciate the T1 sub. My headset turned off again, bro. Wait a second. My headset probably dying or something. Whatever. I remember that feeling, chat. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna describe it because I remember it vividly. It wasn't that I felt like, oh, I would love to come back here, or I gotta come back here, man, no matter what it takes, or man, I'm gonna do anything I can if I could get back here, or I love to hear, man. This was the feeling. I said to myself, I know this will not be my last time here. Dog, that was like scarily confident, bro. Like it was like so certain. It was just such a deep feeling, bro. Like that shit was my face was so blank. It wasn't motivation. It wasn't inspiration. It was certainty. It was like, yo, like that's what I said to myself. I know this will not be my last time here. Dog, affirmation. That was like a level of, I knew it wouldn't be my last time there. And guess what? I think I've been there like 3 or 4 times now. I've been to at least 4 countries outside of the United States. I've been to like, how many states in this state? That was my first time being out of like PA for real. If I ever been anywhere, it's probably New Jersey, the beach. You know what I'm saying? I come from Philly, so like, dog, people live and die in my city. They live and die here. So for me getting on that flight was like, whoa. So I was like, listen, dog. Hey, Lil Guac, I appreciate the 2 months, man. People live and die in Philly, bro. And I'm pretty sure it's like that. If you live in any city I can describe, any city, any state, any country, people just stay in that city for the rest of their life. And when I was on that Uber, going that flight home, I looked out there when I said, I know this will not be my last time here. Now look at me. And now that was, and not even 2 weeks later, I dropped the TikTok, the Aiden Pammy reaction. I think that video dropped April 5th, maybe, or April 6th. April 9th, the TikTok clip went viral. And not only did the TikTok clip went viral, but the YouTube video picked up from that, and the YouTube video hit the algorithm. And that was all she wrote. Not even 2 weeks after that feeling. Not even 2 weeks, dog. And guess what? That video wasn't like, that wasn't anything. Like, that wasn't it. Cause I got almost 500 videos on YouTube now. Well, I'm counting reels and shit. But like just content on YouTube alone, I probably got like 300 videos plus. And I'll never forget my first video hit 100K. And now I got what, like, how many videos with 100K? I probably at least got, I don't know how many videos I got with 100K, but if you hit popular for me, you scroll down, I got a lot of videos with 100K. A lot of videos with 50K, a lot of videos with 80K. Like, it's unbelievable.
Let's keep it going.
But I remember, like, you can scroll, guess what? Some people would delete and hide. Scroll down my channel. It's videos on there with 10,000 views, 5,000 gaming videos with like hundreds of views. Like, dog, all that shit is on there. I showed the process. Go to my Instagram. I got a thing on there called The Journey. And I showed the TikTok count getting 20K followers. I showed my YouTube getting 2K subscribers. All that shit is on there, bro. I did not hide my process at all. I didn't hide the work. I would screenshot each of my streams every day and post the time I spent on them, post the views as they was going up. All that shit is there. All the flops or everything is there. I'm not hiding my process, bro. Like, it is what you see is what you get, my nigga. I put the work in. Mikey Mickerson, I appreciate the 12 months, gang. It's been a year up and down to the door. Still going hard. We got to, man. It's only one way to live. It's only one way to live, and it's the way I choose to live. When did you fall in love with the concept of yourself? When I knew it would give me everything I want. Be, do, have. When I knew I would get everything I want from doing what I'm doing and being who I am. And I'm not, now if you thought of TyKwonDoe or my real name, that's not what it is. It's about the consistency, the determination, my purpose, my, anything you can name. You are the barrier or the key to everything you want in your life. It's you. Think about Drake. Like, let's think about Drake's career. Couldn't Drake have stopped making music 10 years ago? Couldn't Drake have made 3 songs and then stopped from his first 3 songs? Who the kept him making music? He did. We make it, people always talking about luck. This don't be luck when you looking at a motherfucking legend, dog. Like a Kobe. No, who the got him up every morning? Who the told him to work as hard as he did? He did. You are the key or the obstacle to everything you want in your life, bro. And that's 110%. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. And don't let nobody be anything else for you. Because it's you. ICDTM, I appreciate the 9 months. He said, oh God, I'm my own luck. I can't hear the voice, bro. I think my headset is dead.
Am my own luck.
Oh, I just heard it. For example, chat. People talk about that luck shit, man. Those be like, they be hating slickly, bro. People who are lucky don't stay around. I'll say that. Even we look at Ice Spice. People are like, well, her music sucks. Dog, her marketing is insane. She keep her hair the same color. She stay pretty and dialed up. Her collaborations have been impeccable. Her she know what's gonna go viral. Dog, respect the game. Even if you think like, man, she got lucky from twerking and but how many light-skinned bitches got fat asses? But how many Ice Spices are there? How many have careers that boom like hers? People want to discredit from what the decisions people make. Even if sex sells, she still has to work, record, make the videos, write, ignore the criticism, stay consistent, get a team around her that keeps her working and growing. Do y'all not see the work? Come, even as somebody that look, man, she just no, dog. It's no way around the work. She could have never left the house and never dropped a video after people hated her songs. But guess what the fuck she did? She kept creating. Respect the game. Success doesn't happen by accident. And guess what happened? Guess what life do to you when you show you ain't worthy? I'm trying to tell you because I studied this. Now, I ain't as big as I'm going to be. I'm not as big as I will be, right? But you look at my content, people channels die, people like, dog, I done damn near went on 2 breaks. I went back to school, took a full college student load. 6 classes I had on my schedule for the fall and the spring semester. And still kept videos that was doing views, still did collabs, still come back. And then you look at like what I'm trying to get it to the point my videos average 6 figures of per video. With a live and thriving community, etc. Dog, people, I studied this. I know what I do that creates consistency and sustainability. I know what I do. I studied this shit. I studied the greats. Chat, let me tell you, nobody's success is certain. Nobody's success is written in stone. It's always what you choose to do after you get the ball that keeps you scoring. And they're motherfuckers that have gotten the ball. They've been at the right place at the right time. But they were the wrong person. And guess what? Now, it ain't over, right? Life don't just throw you one chance. Like, that's not how it works. I'm just saying. Like, it happens, bro. It happens. Maybe imagine that video went viral April 9th, 2021. I always save the date, bro. On TikTok, right? And I dropped that first Simper Pimp, and I just like slowed down and just started partying and around and all that. Bro, I cut off every chick I talked to that summer. Every single one. Like I'm talking, like when I tell I did not go anywhere that like I ain't nothing got my time. And guess what? I went into the summer with less than 5K and I ended it with like 70. And then hit like 100 in October or something. I ended the summer with like 70. And then September came and then October I hit 100K. People fumble, chat. Like you can't make this shit up. And I don't even want to sit around feeling bad for anybody because you either buckle the fuck up or you do what it takes. Like life don't care. Like I'm trying to tell y'all this because I know y'all get opportunities to change your life. When that gets fumbled, don't blame nobody, bro. Because if you blame somebody for the reason you fumbled your bag, then you can't take accountability. I want the full credit. If I up, if I fell, I don't give a if something jumped in my way. It was me. I allowed it to stop me. It was me. If I miss, it's me. If I make the shot, it's me. I want the accountability because now I can control it. Now I can dictate how I want it to go.